No, we can be sort of professional now and again. Now and again, we can be professional. So we're welcome here. We're doing a Stadia catch up here on what has happened this week on Stadia, and it has been a good week for Stadia. Some people might actually say a great week for Stadia. Do you think I would go that far? Yeah, I'll go and say it's been a great week for Stadia as well. Barry, shock.
Come back to me in a minute. You said it was a great week. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? I think it's been a brilliant week from a Stadia perspective. We've had 3 separate blog posts, and with a total of 6-7 games, 8 games, if I've counted it right.
Right, see, here, I think we'll just start off with Resident Evil.
Yeah, let's just go with it.
Because here's the thing: do you count this Resident Evil news as 2 or 3 games? I'm only counting this as 2 games. Are you counting it as 3 games? 2. Yeah. We now know that Resident Evil Village is coming to Stadia. Absolutely brilliant news. It has been leaked since November that it was coming, with the alleged $10 million being paid for the port of Village and Resident Evil 7. One thing I want to say about this leak as well, it also said it was going to be coming at 60 FPS, which is going to be good to see if that happens. And I don't think we're going to have to wait that long to actually find out as part of this news, Resident Evil 7 is coming as a pro game. That's even forgetting about you can get a Google Stadia Premier Edition if you pre-order the game as well, except in Canada it's available in all other countries which Stadia is available, but not in Canada. So what do you think of this news here?
Brilliant. I mean, from our perspective, I think we were relatively confident that it was going to happen anyway, on the basis of kind of some of the information we'd seen from the leak. But, I think it's fantastic that they've now confirmed it. We've now got it in writing. We've got dates. We know it's going to be day and date. We've got that, as you're showing right now, that trailer, specific Stadia trailer, which is great. You've got to love it when you kind of see a big title with, with specific Stadia trailers. It does it gives me a little bit of the feels of the kind of the Cyberpunk announcement. Resident Evil is a much loved franchise. It's a big franchise. So I think to have it day and date on the platform and having that free Premier Edition is tremendous. And then obviously, get everybody nice and warmed up for it. The month before, obviously 1st of April, we've got the gold edition of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard as pro, which is, it's fantastic to have that added to the collection as well. And no doubt everybody will have a huge amount of fun playing through that. And obviously, well, not everybody. You might you might get, there might be a few jumpy moments in there. But, certainly you've got ample time to kind of play through it through the month of April, leading up to the launch of Village, on the proviso, obviously, that you've pre-ordered it. And absolutely, if you love Resident Evil, why not? And the nice thing is, even if you haven't played Resident Evil before and you may be new to cloud gaming, if you jump into 7, there's enough there that can kind of potentially sway you either way as to whether you want to be jumping into Village and kind of follow it up quite quickly after.
What I'll say about Resident Evil 7, if you're into if you're not really into horror games, if you get over the hump of about half an hour to an hour, it is a real good game. When you get used to the mechanics and how that Resident Evil works, you can sort of predict when roughly there's going to be a jump scare of sorts, or when things are going to get a bit more interesting. It is a real good game. I'm not really into horror games, but I really enjoyed this. And you're getting the gold edition, so you're getting some of the DLC as well. Absolutely brilliant. I don't want to spoil too much of things, but I like the VHS sections of the game where you watched, you put in a VHS tape and you went back and reacted things. Absolutely brilliant sort of game. And that was the start on Monday. Yesterday, we found out that Dirt 5 is now available on Stadia. By all intents and purposes, this is a good port. If you check out Cloud Gaming Extreme, they've done a quick look at it. Like 99% there is a couple of wee stutters now and again, which seem to be popping up with some things. But again, it is perfectly playable. It is a fun game. I have enjoyed playing Dirt 5. I know you're the same. We also got Murder by Numbers as well. That is on offer at this moment in time. Keys and the Wild Masks. While this video goes up, it will be due out in a couple of hours, and that has been getting brilliant reviews.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to K's. I think it's got all the touches and feels of the nostalgia of kind of games that we kind of grew up with as kids. And it is a game that I'm really looking forward to playing. So I'm kind of super excited for that one.
What about Dirt 5 and Murder by Numbers?
Dirt 5, absolutely brilliant that we've now got it. Obviously, we knew it was coming to Stadia. We've known for a number of months that it's coming to Stadia. We've now kind of hit that week in the year where we've now finally got it. So everybody can kind of go ahead, rejoice, and hit the dirt and kind of tear it up. As for Murder by Numbers, yeah, not necessarily my thing, if I'm honest. I kind of a bit of a pass on it, but you never know. It might be one that turns up on Pro in a couple of months, and then I can give it a go as part of the subscription.
Yeah, I think, again, personal opinions here. Everybody's gaming taste is different. I'm just putting that out there. Some people will say absolutely amazing game. Some people will say not my cup of tea, and that is perfectly valid. Everybody's gaming taste is different. Speaking of which, I personally speaking, these games coming to Stadia, I am excited for. They are JRPGs. JRPGs are games. I think they're games you're absolutely going to dive into, and you're going to lap all these titles coming up, or you're going to be going, yeah, not really my thing. I don't think there's absolutely any middle ground with these games at all. But for me, I am extremely excited about these games coming, and I am not going to pronounce them because I will just butcher them.
Come on.
Because I can't say, I always say this one wrong. I'm just going to call it Yes 11, Yes 9. We're calling it Yes 9. I know it's not pronounced like that, but we're going to call it Yes 9 is coming. We're also getting, so that's coming day and a date. Yes, I'm just calling it. Yes, 8 is coming on April the 1st. Again, April the 1st is turning into a really busy day for Stadia, because not only we're getting that, we're getting Outriders, and there's something else which is completely slipping my mind. The pro games are coming.
Pro games, yeah.
And there's something else coming, and I'm going to beat myself up about it. We're also getting Legends of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel 4, and that is coming the 9th of April. We're getting the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. That is coming the 1st of April as well. Again, there's something in the back of my head. There's another game coming, and we're probably going to I'm going to get raked in the comments here for forgetting what it is. But absolutely great news that all these games are coming to Stadia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, as you say, they are a very much a take it or a leave it genre, but there is a massive audience, out there for those that are the takers, of these types of games. They've got a huge player base, they've got a huge audience. And I think it's fantastic to continue kind of growing that almost diversity of genres on the platform, and kind of making sure that things are being expanded out in kind of equal and all measures. The stuff there that people will be able to dive right into, and will get thoroughly lost in, and will really, really enjoy. So it really is fantastic to see.
What I'm going to say about these games coming, the JRPG games, which I'm not going to butcher the names again. These games are a real good get, because the chances are, if you're into these games, you're going to buy all these games. It's not going to be, I'm going to buy one and just leave it. You're going to buy all of them. It's that sort of genre, because people absolutely love them. And I know there's a load of people out there who are going to absolutely adore these games. So I think this has been a smasher of a week for Stadia, and there is no taking that away from them. And I'm just really excited to see where this is all going to go in the next wee while. It's all about keeping the M word for Stadia, and that M word is momentum. They need to continue this momentum, because these games are announced. It's the same for absolutely every platform. To be equal, what's next now? What games coming after these ones, because that is all what matters to gamers, is what is coming. And this is brilliant for Stadia, and this is going to raise expectations of what is to come, which is great to see.
Absolutely, there is that real feel of rolling thunder about the kind of the Stadia momentum at the moment. We've kind of gone from your FIFAs to Outriders to Dirt 5 to Kaze and the Wild Masks. Now we've got the JRPGs. We've got Resident Evil thrown in there. That's kind of, though, if you think about those announcements over the last 2 months, a couple of weeks, I should say, not 2 months, carries us forward for 2 months. It gets us to a point where we know roughly some of the content that's coming in April. We then know at least one piece of content that is then coming in May. And then, as you rightly say, the attention then turns to, okay, the momentum is there. So what's next? What are we seeing later in April? What are we seeing to further carry us through May? What are we seeing into June? And that's literally that kind of juggernaut is kind of running, and it just needs to keep going in that way, because it's positivity and it's confidence, and it's great to see.
And I'm sorry about this. We're going to have to just end on one wee tiny bit of bad news. It's not, oh my goodness, it's awful. Humankind has been put back until August. I just forgot about that. I was actually meant to open up with that one, because I wanted to actually start with the sort of badish sort of news. It's not bad news. I do not mind games getting delayed, because I think it just needs a bit more work, and I think we're going to hear a bit more about that as well. It's nothing to get beat up about. This is not a Stadia issue. This is just them pushing it back a wee bit for them to get a bit more time. This is a brand new franchise for them, so they are going to want to try and nail this as best as they can.
Yeah, and I think if we kind of reflect on the Humankind situation as a whole, it was a big grab for them to kind of, for Stadia to have that demo last year during the Good Stuff event, so that we know that it's coming. It's just a case of putting that little bit extra work in, just to make sure that it's everything that people's expectations are. If I cast my mind back to when that demo was available for its week, there were a lot of people talking about it. There were a lot of people diving into it. There were a lot of people enjoying it, and I think that delay is merely part of a creative working process to make sure that it brings a better product to market, a better product for the gamers to experience, and obviously Stadia will benefit from that in August when it launches on the platform.
Yes, and again, I think this is like one of the perfect games for Stadia, in that it is a PC game, it's basically a PC game, and this could actually draw people to actually try the platform, because you would be able to play it in your browser. Let's just be frank with it, which is a real benefit to it. And I think we should see more of these PC-specific sort of titles come across. Personally speaking, okay, we're meant to be just doing this news. I hope in the future we may see that the requirement of all games having the controller is dropped down, as long as it's well marketed that way, because that could just open up the door to bring more games onto Stadia, like the RTS genre and some of the strategy games. That's what I would hope, but I don't see that happening. but it's not a complaint.
No, I know what you mean.
But I think that is us. And Barry, is there anything you want to end on here?
No, and I think that's I think we've absolutely covered everything that we needed to. I think the only other thing I will say is obviously keep an eye on our Cloudy Roundup, which is going to be rolling out later, either tomorrow or later today, depending on when you see this. So it's going out on Friday. We're obviously we've been running a giveaway all of this week, and we are highly likely to be running another one as well. So keep your eyes peeled out for that.
Okay, and we'll just give a heads up for people here. It's a Stadia giveaway. Shh. We're doing a state. We've got a Stadia code to give away. Don't tell anybody.
On a game that might be leaving Pro.
Yes, as well. So you may want to pick that up if you don't have Pro and enter. So keep an eye on that. But everybody, thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.